Alright boys, time to make the fair value gap video. Um, this is gonna be the first part of like my educational content. Um, so yeah, I mean let's fucking get into it. If you're new, you're probably like, what the fuck is a fair value gap? Okay, fair value gap is an imbalance. What is an imbalance? An imbalance is where price either buys or sells off. Um, the best way I can put it is it's a three candlestick pattern that leaves a gap between the top wick and the bottom wick of the first and the third candle. Okay, and the gap is always the second candle. Okay, what does that mean? Here we have a fair value gap, right? Let me turn this off. This is a fair value gap. So this green candlestick and this red candlestick are the first and the third one. So this is the first, this is the third, this is the middle one. Okay, as you see here, we have this wick. Okay, the next candlestick, which is the second one, is a huge sell-off, right? The third one, it's just a normal candle. Okay, it's got the bottom wick, the top wick. This represents a bearish imbalance. And you might be thinking, okay, where's the imbalance? It is between the first and the third candlestick. As you see here, this wick doesn't cover any of this body. This wick doesn't cover anything here. So that leaves a huge gap right here from this wick to this wick. Okay? What does that mean? What does price usually want to do? It wants to fill imbalances, sweep liquidity. Um, so that's what we did here on this bearish example. Okay? As you see, price sold off, created the fair value gap, this big imbalance. Okay, what did price end up doing? We ended up closing down here. We ended up having a push up to fill this imbalance. And what did we do after we filled this imbalance? Continue to fall. Okay, that's a bearish example. Let me show you another bearish example. Okay, right here. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, boom. First one of the bottom wick, third of the top. Okay, huge imbalance here. What did we see price do? Sell off, create this imbalance, fill this imbalance, continue to fall, and take out lows. Okay, see it fell, 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 boom. But what did price have to do first? Come up, fill the imbalance, and then fall. Okay, one thing about these fair value gaps is not every single one will be filled. Okay, as you see here, we had a fair value gap that we made from this here. Okay, cool, wick, wick, fair value gap, boom. It's another bearish example. But what did price not do? We never came up to fill this, right? We never filled this imbalance. That doesn't mean price won't go lower, okay? An imbalance doesn't have to get filled, but it is likely to get filled, okay? Let me show you a bullish example of a fair value gap. Here is one right here, okay? We have this long wick, okay? Cool. So that means we start it there. Boom. We have this huge engulfing candlestick. There's still bottom of the wick right here. Boom. That is a fair value gap. It may be a smaller one than obviously this example here. It's still a fair value gap though. And what did price want to do? We had a huge rip up. As you see here, we made another one. Boom, boom. Huge rip up, fair value gap. Boom. Rip up, fill the fair value gap, continue higher. Okay. I'll show you another bullish example. Right here. Look, here's an example of how three get filled. Okay. Boom. Create a fair value gap. Why? This wick and this wick, there's nothing, they're not overlapping on each sides, right? So that leaves a huge gap. Okay. What did price do? We came up, created this fair value gap. On the next candlestick, we came down to fill it. Price ripped. Okay. Boom. We can follow it again. Mark out the fair value gap. Okay. We ripped, created this imbalance. What did price do? Come down, fill. Boom. Rip up. Okay, cool. Made another imbalance. Bullish imbalance, right? Oh, fuck. There we go. Boom. What did price do? Come up, create an imbalance, fill, boom. Continue higher. Okay. Let me show you an example of a. Actually, I'll save that for fucking next video. Next video we'll do inverse fair value gaps. I'm not going to show you what an inverse fair value gap is, just because there's no point if I'm doing a fair value gap video. But fair value gaps can always be revisited, right? So as you see here, we created this fair value gap, right? Price ended up coming down here without filling it, okay, in this area. But what did we end up doing? Boom. We had a, we bought up. Boom. We came into this fair value gap, right? It's still valid, right? Because we haven't closed past it, okay? We come up, we fill it, we reject, continue lower, okay? And as you see, for a while, it got respected, okay? Boom, respected, fall. It was not only until this candlestick where we finally respected it, right? If we close past a gap, it's disrespected, it is not valid, okay? Um, Here's another example. I'm just going to keep showing you guys examples until you get it, okay? Boom, bottom wick, top wick of this candle. What did we end up doing? Boom, fill, reject. One more bullish example right here. This is a great example, right? So we had two created. One here, and then one here, right? So on the first one, okay, that's the one we want to look at first, right? Boom, what did we do? We came and filled it, okay? We got no rejection so far. Boom, we filled it again. Close past it. That means this one, disrespected. That means not valid anymore, okay? That still means this one is still valid though, okay? And what did we end up doing? Filled it. We filled the whole thing, okay, with this wick. Whole thing, boom, rejection, continue higher, okay? That is how imbalances work. Okay, price wants to fill these imbalances to take out any buyers right here to continue higher. Okay, same with bearish examples. Okay, um, price had to come and fill this gap to take out sellers that sold off on this big candlestick right here. Okay, to continue lower. Right. Um, Nothing fancy. Hopefully this fucking video helped. I'll do inverse for value gaps next. Um, yeah, I'll just create a playlist and all types of shit. Again, if you didn't watch my last video, go watch it. It explains this, holding yourself accountable, holding myself accountable. And yeah, I'll see you boys later.